It's Julia, and you're finding yourself here at part 14 of the Money Workbook class. Last week we finished on page 38, and the homework was to read 10 pages. So we're starting on page 47. And things are lightening, things are lifting, more unconsciousness is being unraveled. So, you know, faces are getting happier. Money is flowing easier. Look, there's laughter in the room. You didn't get that 10 weeks ago.
I actually did my homework.
Hey, and we've had homework done, so this is very exciting. And if you haven't done your homework, just pause me and do your homework and then come back. All right.
So I'm just gonna pause you.
Awesome. Okay, so page 47. We're going to read, and everybody in the room, feel free to stop and ask questions. We also have a special guest in the house tonight, and that is my sister Carly. And she's visiting from Vancouver, and I'm very happy about that. I've never had a family member in my class before, so it's very exciting.
Maybe she'd like to be the student.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, that would be good. We have a student because. Okay, so maybe just share with Lil, and you could be the student.
So you read every time it says. Oh, okay.
Here,
you hold it and then make it easier. I can.
Okay.
Student. Okay.
Mind you, the student should be sitting there. Sorry, everybody online. Fast forward this.
You have to switch.
Yeah, you guys have to do a switcheroo.
Yeah, that's okay. Just go. Take it.
Thanks, Lil.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. All right. So the student says, you have to talk kind of loud together. Okay, it feels like a coming into myself. Exactly so. It is being totally connected, totally consciousness, totally awareness, and control. How does control feel from this place?
It feels a lot different from the other control.
Yes. The other control is trying to control your anger, is it not?
Well, I suppose.
Well, ultimately, you are trying to control your anger because the truth is you are not allowing yourself to shine. There is peace, there is calmness, and there is magnificence inside, but you cram it in underneath anger. Since you think anger is not appropriate, you diminish yourself, and you try to control it. And you can try to control everything else around you as a way of hiding it from yourself. Who you are angry at is self. Be at peace with self. There, right there. Do you feel that?
Right.
Actually, I just want to interject. There's a new body process up, and it's called the invocation of anger. Because we've spent so much of our life trying to suppress our anger because it's not appropriate to be angry. You know, it's made of wrongness when really it's just another thing to be. Just with that, like if you notice yourself getting angry, allow yourself to get angry. Be really angry, and as you are willing to be more of that anger, you get past that because underneath all of the anger is like who you are, and the place that he's talking about is there is peace, there is calmness, and there is magnificence inside, but you cram it underneath anger because it's really not appropriate to get that angry. And I grind my teeth a lot, and I said to Gary a couple weeks ago, what does it mean if you grind your teeth all of the time? And he's like, honey, you have a lot of suppressed anger. And he's like, you're grinding your teeth out of existence because that's one of the only places where you'll let that much anger out. And so just like let the anger out and don't try to stop it. And I could try, if we are doing trades or if you want to book a session, there's the embodiment of anger process. It's given me a lot of freedom, and I haven't grounded my teeth. So, except for last night because my dad grinds my teeth, or his teeth. So when I'm in his vicinity, I still seem to grind my teeth. So I'm working on that too. But anyways, it's helped a lot to know kind of what's going on. So because it's not it's wrong. You know, you grow up as a nice girl. You want to be nice. You don't want to get too angry. You don't want to be mean. It's all about being nice. So like with that, every single time you are angry because somebody's lied to you or something, the possibilities that exist in the world aren't showing up in your life, There's an anger that comes up, but we're taught to suppress that, and it gets suppressed and suppressed and suppressed and suppressed until you're just like, oh. And underneath all that is where like you are. So let it out. Go into a field and scream for an hour if you need to. All right. So yes, that is it, and that is you. Feel your energy expanding.
Oh, it's so different.
Extremely, yes. That is it. Dynamically you. That is who you truly are. All right.
And it is blackness, and I think I have some control on it. And
All right.
I also know that I have some out of control on it at this point.
So where do you feel the blackness?
I seem to think that I go into it rather than into me. I'm not sure of that.
Where do you feel it? Is it inside of you? Is it in you? Close your eyes. Feel the blackness. Where do you feel it?
I think in my lower stomach area, and then I let it engulf.
Good. So how do you think to feel? Is that in your mind?
Okay, the works.
So that you are experiencing the blackness. And what is it? Is the sense that there is nothing except blackness connected to money. So I'm going to repeat that because that's a really good line. And I think that pretty much the whole world has this sense. And what it is the sense that there is nothing except blackness connected to money. And that somehow that blackness has to do with evil. And therefore, the receiving of it is absolutely not allowed. There, you feel that shift? Turn it. Yes, there. Turn it white. There. Feel your crown opening. Yes. And now that which you call the blackness can pour out. So it's like if there's a place in your body where you feel that blackness, because it's like we have these weird things where we lock different things in different parts of our bodies, and some people call it chakras, and we do different things, how to clear that and stuff. So one thing that you can do is get to that place where there is the blackness and turn it, and it can start to pour out because it's been sitting and suppressed, and you've been afraid to move it because there's this sense that if you move it, then something really bad is going to happen. But if you actually move it and change it, then it doesn't have the same control over you. It's sort of like consciousness. You be conscious of it, you look at it, you turn it, you change it, and it doesn't control you anymore. So, okay. So there, you feel that shift? Turn it. Yes, there. Turn it white. There. Feel your crown opening. Yes. And now that which you call the blackness can pour out, and that which is the reality of you is present. Notice the difference in your energy. You have to let go of the idea, the emotion of evil as a reality, because it is not reality. It is only an interesting point of view. All right. Any other emotions?
I think my dominant emotion about money is ambivalence.
Ambivalence. Ambivalence, yes. What is ambivalence? Where do you feel it?
I feel it in my solar plexus and in my lower chakras.
Yes, ambivalence is about the unknowing of this plane. A sense that money belongs to something that you do not understand. You feel that shift in your lower chakras?
Yes.
That is the result of connecting to the fact that you are awareness. And as awareness, you are money. As awareness, you are also power. And all chakras are connected unto energy, which is you. There. Does ambivalence still exist for you?
No.
Good. All right. Any other emotions?
I've got one.
Yes.
I feel distaste and shame.
Very good emotions. Distaste and shame. Where do you feel that?
I think I feel it.
You think your feelings?
No, in my stomach and my lungs.
In your stomach and your lungs. So for you, money is breathing and eating. So this is the same exercise that we just talked about. Shame. Turn it out. Move it out of your stomach. Yes. You feel that? You feel the energy of your stomach chakra now opening?
Yes.
Good. And what is your other emotion?
Distaste.
Distaste in your lungs. Distaste because it means you must suffocate to get it. You must suffocate yourself to get money from your point of view. Is that a reality?
Yes.
It is?
No.
All right.
I recognize it as being.
How are you functioning?
Yes.
Good. So turn that breath and exhale all of it. Good. Now breathe in money. Good. And exhale shame. And inhale money through every pore of your body and exhale distaste. Yes. Now, how does that feel? A little freer?
Yes.
Good. Anybody else wish to speak about emotion?
Fear.
Fear. What other emotions?
Anxiety and relief.
So money gives you relief.
Yes.
When?
When it comes to me.
Interesting point of view. Anxiety and fear. Let us take those first because they are the same. Where do you feel fear and anxiety? In which parts of your body?
My stomach.
Stomach. All right. Push that out from your stomach. 3 feet out in front of you. What does it look like to you? So sorry. No, that's okay. I just wanted to stop. Have you guys ever, had a financial disaster and you feel it in your body? Like it's like this thing inside of you. So when or even if money is a problem and you think about it, it's like this thing that lives inside of you. And that is the shame and stuff like that. So that is in your stomach. So you push that out. Oh, we have a new joiner. Hi, Faye. So in your stomach, and you take it and you push that out from your stomach 3 feet in front of you, because it lies in you as though it's a feeling in your body. It's not a feeling in your body. It's an awareness of what other people feel about money. That you have, because you want to heal the world, of course, because that's your job. How are you? Good. So because you want to heal the world, every time that you create the invention of a money problem, you pick up all of the realities and the vibrations of all the other people in the world who have the same thing. And you put them, it's amazing what really occurs. And you take them out of everybody else and you put them in your stomach in this pit. So have you guys ever been on Facebook and then you get off Facebook and you feel like crap afterwards? Yes. Yeah. So at that time, you're in the world of Facebook, right? And you're in the world of the billion, I don't know how many people are on Facebook, like 1 billion maybe. And you're picking up on everything that they think about themselves, everything that they did that day, everything that was, how much little possibility they see in the world, how much they hate themselves, the problems they're having with their families, and maybe the one good thing in their life. But most people don't like having good things in their life, so that's very rare. So you're on Facebook, you're in that whole world, and you're taking everything and putting it inside your body. So the same thing happens with money is, when you have a credit card statement and you're like, oh, how am I going to pay that? Or I would really like to do this thing, but that's going to, I'm not going to be able to have the money for that. It's like you take the realities of all the people who have had money problems, and at some point you've bought that if you take it out of those people, you'll heal them. So it's like this weird thing where you're aware of it, but you also put it inside of your body because you're aware of it, thinking that because you put it inside your body, you're going to heal it. So all the unconsciousness on that, it's like, look, Lil's falling asleep. You look like you're ready to hit somebody.
Yes. Just do that.
So everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pog, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyond. So it's this really funny thing, but you really care. You care about people. But because you're aware, and you're one of the really, really aware people, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be sitting in this room, you care so much that you want to take on the suffering of other people. So you'll actually think that their problem is your problem, thereby thinking you take it out of the other person, but really you don't. But kind of you do, maybe make it a little less heavy, but then they can't deal with their own problem themselves. It's kind of a mess, but it's the way that everybody lives their life and nobody knows it. So yesterday I was on a telecall with Shannon O'Hara. She does the Talk to the Entities stuff. She's Gary's stepdaughter. And she looked up the definition of the word care. and the word care actually means, what does it mean? It means to carry the burden, or no, to carry the load of somebody else's burden and sorrow. That's what it means to care for somebody. So if, like, when you say I love you to somebody, it means that because you love them, you'll take on their burden and sorrow. Or if you care for somebody, it means you're taking on their burden and sorrow. So we spend most of our lives trying to take on these other burdens. And probably the financial burden is one of the big ones. So everything you've done to care rather than be aware, will you destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah.
So, what? What comes first then? Like how do, like, for example, my financial problems showing up in my reality, are they there because I've taken on other people's financial burdens? So I created that, or
Yeah.
I created that and then...
Well, it's kind of a conglomeration of things. I mean, when you're born, you have to learn to live in this world, right? Like, if nobody talked, you wouldn't know how to talk.
Right.
So you learn to mimic your parents in order to learn how to function in this world. So you learn how to speak, and you learn how to eat like them, and you learn how to go to the bathroom, and you also learn, how to relate to money, and you learn how to relate to people, and you learn how to care, and you learn how to start taking on the problems of the world, because that means you're a good person. Yeah. It's almost like we've all tried to make ourselves Jesus Christ, like save the world by taking on the sorrows and tacking ourselves to the cross. So it starts pretty much when you're born, based on the family that you're born into, whatever your point of view is about money, positive or negative. I mean, there's so many sides of the same coin. No matter what you take on, it's a limitation, because it's not you, it's somebody else. So you start by taking it on mostly from your family, and it's like if you were being you, Naomi, and you were like this gushing, happy, joyful, excited, just happy to be in the world all the time person, you wouldn't be very accepted in this world, right?
Yeah, I can find that annoying.
Yeah, it's like really weird.
Yeah.
So you have to find these ways, to mimic your family, to be like them. So what was your question again? That was sort of like the prologue.
Like, where does it, I guess I have two, like, where does it start, or what comes first? Like, my financial struggles, did I create them and then felt all the feelings because I created, that's when I'm picking up everyone's awareness on their financial struggles? Or did I already pick up on the awareness of everyone's financial struggles and in turn have created that in my reality? Did I say that backwards?
So what, like, I can't really even answer that. It could be either for you. Like, I don't know what you did. It's not the same
Well,
for
I guess
everybody.
same, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But what's the trick, like, to stop that then? Do you just...
Honestly, you're not going to like this, but saying, who does this belong to, all the time. Like, for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time that comes up, you're like, your situation is real to you.
So, like, when a financial crisis shows up, I'm asking that, who does it belong to, or the feeling of it?
Okay, so there's a few things. As an infinite being, you wouldn't have a thought, a feeling, or emotion, right? You're just being you. So what happens is you have this awareness, you take it, it's like your antenna, it comes onto your antenna, and you're like, it goes, and it's like, by going onto your antenna, somehow we've all decided that because it's on your antenna, you have to put it in your body and you have to feel it. When really you could just be like, oh, I'm aware of this. That's too bad that person has all those problems. Oh, well, that's not my, like, and it's like more, it's being aware rather than caring, because caring means that you take it from the antenna, you put it inside of you, and you're like, ah, and then you go ahead and you create the problems to validate that that's true. So I guess, like, you have the awareness first, and then you have to create it because you bought it as real. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You might want to watch what we just talked about, like, again, to, like, kind of,
7 more times.
yeah. Okay, or 7. Yeah. So, but it's like, it doesn't mean that you don't care about people. It just means that you're going to do what you're going to do, because you carrying their burden isn't going to help them anyways. It doesn't, you can't save people. So,
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Oh, that's the same question. Pretty much. Is there a fan statement for that?
It's just a choice that when it comes, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm aware of that. And not going, you know what I mean? And then creating your life based on what you picked up.
So that would be true for like everything. Oh, I was overwhelmed.
So it's like, who does this belong to? Or interesting point of view, I have this point of view, is the place where you're like, oh, I really just am aware. But it takes some practice, because you're used to putting it inside of you and creating it as your life. Like, really, for the most part, unless you're totally happy and just being you and at peace, your life is an invention. It's not real. It's just an invention based on everything you've picked up on your antenna and put inside of you, because you think that's what you are. So only like the really awesome stuff is what's actually you. So, yeah. So, isn't this nice?
Yes. This is the best way to go so far.
Interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, but like, I keep saying this, and it's really a choice to change everything, to like always, like, to be really persistent and to trust that what you know is the greatest way, because what anybody else knows isn't greater than what you know. Like, I don't know the inside tendrils of Naomi and all of her, like, the things that you can create and the things you can do and your brilliance. Only you know that. I don't know what that is. I can ask you questions to help you be more aware of that. Like Gary Douglas, he knows a lot, so he can see a lot of the tendrils of who you are, but still he doesn't know more about you than you do.
Right.
He's just asking questions to like pop you open so that you're like, oh, I actually know things about myself.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I
we're
mean?
the experts kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
I guess even doing like the IMs would help that too, hey?
Yeah. 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 It would. Okay. Where were we? Did anybody else
Slimy and
have
pretty.
any questions? No? Faithy, are you doing good, honey? Okay. What, Carly? Where were we? Sorry?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So let's just start at interesting point of view. Anxiety and fear. Let us take those first because they are the same. Where do you feel fear and anxiety? In which parts of your body?
My stomach.
Stomach. All right. Push that out from your stomach 3 feet out in front of you. So that's almost like, it's almost like the awareness. Like, this book's a little bit older, so we have different methods of doing it now, but this works too, where like you're aware of all this stuff and you've locked it into you for the entirety of like this lifetime and every other lifetime you've lived, and you just kept plugging it into every body you've had. And so now it's like this place where you become aware of it and you like push it out in front of you and be like, oh, it's like another way of doing interesting point of view, or oh, who does that belong to? So it's not like a piece of who you think you are. Because if you buy it as who you think you are, you'll keep creating situations based on it, as though these situations are like who you are in your life. They're not who you are in your life. They're just what you've invented based on everything you're aware of. So, and like when I was talking about Naomi and like the tendrils and the like the brilliance and the creativity of who she is, like when you're creating based on that, you have a life that's totally beyond this reality. And when you're creating based on like this, you have a life in this reality. Is that in English? Yeah? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so stomach. So yeah, so you push it out 3 feet in front of you. What does it look like to you?
Slimy and green.
Slimy.
Yeah,
Yes. What is the reason that it is slimy and green?
because I can't control it.
Ah, interesting point of view. No control. You see, you are not being I am control, are you? You are saying to yourself, I can't control. I am not in control. That is the underlying assumption from which you function. I am not control. I am not control. So you have created, very well, fear and anxiety.
Yes.
Good. You are a great and glorious creator. Well done. Do you congratulate yourself on your creativity?
With shame, yes.
I have another thing to say. So I'm not sure if anybody in this room has had depression or anxiety. Well, I know a few people have, and I know I have. And depression and anxiety are that place where you have taken this so long and gone like this and like, but then you also have this awareness of what your reality could be and like of a different reality, but you have no concept of how to get there, or you don't believe that it could be true. And it's so agonizing to be aware that that is possible, but be buying this as real and creating your life at the same time that it creates like mayhem within your world. And that's what anxiety and depression are. It's like, you know, kids who cut, that's because it's the only way that they can feel anymore, because they're aware, but they've been told like repeatedly that what they're aware of is wrong, is wrong, is wrong. And so it's like you suppress yourself to such a degree that like it's just like it feels good because you actually feel something again. So, okay, anyways. Interesting point of view. Why with shame?
Because I didn't know any better.
Yes, but it doesn't matter you knew better. What does matter is that you now understand that you are creator and you have done a magnificent job of creating, which means you can choose differently and you can create a different result.
It takes discipline.
Discipline? No.
With love?
No, with power. You are energy as power. I am power, I am awareness, I am control, I am creativity, I am control, I am money. All right. That is how you create change. By becoming the I am that you are, instead of the I am that you have been. Begin to look at where you have created the viewpoint of solidity around money and what it feels like. When you feel it impacted upon a body part, push it out from you and ask yourself, what is the underlying point of view that I am functioning from that I do not even see? And allow yourself to have the answer. And then allow that the answer is just an interesting point of view after all, anyway. And what can I choose now? I choose, I am creativity, I am awareness, I am control, I am power, and I am money. If you create, I am not. If you create, I can't, you will not be able to. So remember how I always talk about that line in the book that I love? It's like you are unwilling to take up the challenge of who you truly are. It's talking about the same thing here. It's if we create ourselves based on I am not or I can't, and that's that place where it's not that you are unable to take up the challenge of who you truly are. It's that you're unwilling to. So everything that is, can you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all night, pop, shorts, golden. And clearly that's not totally true because you're in this room, reading the money workbook and like looking at these things. So, but that's sort of the way the world works, is we know what's possible, but people are not willing to do whatever it takes to find that out. So,
Can I ask a question?
indeed,
What's the relationship between control and discipline?
that's a really good question. So, discipline is the place where well, let's look up let me look up the definitions. I like to look up the definitions of the word. But discipline, like there's two kinds of, well, do you have a phone on you? I do not. Okay. Can you look up hold on. Can you Google 1928 dictionary and then look up the definition of the word discipline? Because we want to find dictionaries that are older than, as old as possible, and 1928 is the best one that I have found. But discipline is kind of within this reality, and control is out of this reality. It's like being the puppeteer that controls everything, or being one of the puppets. So a puppet will try to do everything properly and correctly rather than doing things kind of in a more, I don't really know how to say control and discipline. There's two different types of control. There's a control where you're like trying to control things and make sure they turn out right. Or there's the control where you are aware of everything that's going on and you're able to tweak things based on your awareness. Rather than like the smaller type of control where you're like, this has to turn out this way and I have to do this right, because if I don't do this right, then I'm not a good person or I'm not successful. It's kind of based on proving things, or like to yourself and other people, rather than, ooh, I'm aware of all these possibilities and I'm going to control the outcome based on my total awareness. So I guess I call discipline like the smaller type of control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And Noni, when you get that definition, just interrupt. So no, with power. So middle of the thing here. Begin to look at where you have created the viewpoint of solidity around money and what it feels like. Okay, so we're going to dig into here too. I'm going to do a lot of explaining today. So see where it says you have created the viewpoint of solidity around money? So what you have done is, over time and years and years and years of doing the same thing, you have your antenna. And okay, so there's a point of view about money, and there's another point of view about money, and there's another, and it's like billions, like infinite amounts. And then you take it and it creates this thing. And you make it solid. So it says, begin to look at where you have created the viewpoint of solidity around money and what it feels like. So you take these billions of points of view, put them here, and I'm kind of just illustrating. It's not necessarily like this, but say you put them here, then you try to make them solid so that you can control them, like in the disciplined kind of way, so that you are safe and secure on this planet. But there is nothing that's really safe and secure, because if you're aware of everything, there's no such thing as safety. If somebody's going to come in a back alley and attack you, you're totally aware of it, you just go somewhere else. There is no such thing as safety, there's only awareness. So what happens is you take all these points of view and you do everything you can to make them solid and real so that you can like hold on to them and be safe. So it keeps your life small rather than being willing to go, oh, I'm aware of that. Oop, I'm aware of that. Oop, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's what that person's reality is. And most of it is kind of ugly because most people in this world, but we take that ugliness and we go like this and we hold it. So who does this belong to? It's taking this solid mass and it's going, oh, that doesn't belong to me. Okay, they can have that back. They can have that back. They can have that back. And what's left is you, the being, who is like this amazing creative thing. So it's like, but it feels real. We believe in feelings. Feelings are just these solid places. They're not actually real. So if you can take those feelings, and it can be very uncomfortable. That's why a lot of people don't do it, because it's a very uncomfortable process. But if you take it and you send it all back to sender, you realize that's what left is you.
Could it be an entity that you're creating all on its own? Because an entity can be an idea, and as it creates itself, it becomes itself, and it keeps
like the money problem as an entity of its own.
And it becomes its own entity. It becomes its own mind almost.
Yeah.
Because an entity is like, can be a business too. So you start a business idea and it grows, and then it becomes out of your control and it takes on its own form.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, but totally correct. Yeah. Because it's this thing that takes on its own life. Yeah.
And maybe that's why sometimes you don't feel in control of it, or that you can't get a handle on it because it's not really partly yours anymore. You have a piece of it, but it's taking on its own.
Not quite. There's kind of an issue with that, just because I see what you're saying, but there's also a place where you aren't the one who created it in the first place, because you are the one who created it in the first place. And although it is, I don't know if an entity would be the best way to look at it. I get what you're saying, because it becomes this other thing. But if you say it's an entity and that's partly why you can't control it, that's disempowering you to let it, like, to destroy it, like to take it apart, and who does this belong to, and get rid of it. So I get what you're saying, and it's true, but it's not the best perspective to take, because it'll make it harder for you to get rid of, harder for you to not get rid of, but return to whoever you bought it from. So, because it's not really like this out of control thing that's hard to get rid of. So
Every time I've done a return to sender, like push it out in front of me and then like return it, I never find it's difficult or anything. Is that not a good thing? Like it's easy to do it. Is that
no.
okay?
I'm gonna stick on your forehead. I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. Everything you're doing right, you're like, Julia, I'm doing this wrong, right? Because there has to be something wrong. No, like that's awesome. Most people have a lot of trouble with it because they want to believe that it's theirs. Because then you get to this point where you realize that everything is not as it seems. And then you realize that everything you thought you were doesn't actually exist. And then you have to actually create your future rather than create based on what everybody expects of you, which nobody wants to do. So, so yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. Did you come up with that definition?
Oh yeah.
Sweet. I'm interested to hear.
It wasn't like, it's not like there was a whole whack over them, so this isn't the greatest one, but do you want me to just read like the first one for each?
Yeah.
So for a noun, education, instruction, cultivation, and improvement, comprehending instruction in arts, sciences, correct sentiments, morals, and manners, and due subordination to authority.
Yeah, okay. So like the energy that reads them like is like in due subordination to authority. So it's like it's like where you're the puppet, where you're subordinating rather than being the puppeteer.
Mm-hmm. And then the verb is to instruct or educate, inform the mind, prepare by instructing to incorrect
Okay, yeah, and inform the mind, because it's like it's all about knowledge rather than awareness. It's like, because if you inform the mind, the definition of a mind is to like categorize things that you already know, and awareness is to be aware of what you're aware of. So like a discipline is a way to kind of stay in this reality and keep learning more and more about this reality rather than learn about who you are. It's like educating based on like other people's what other people know rather than get to know who you are. And it's not like wrong to like, it's not like you have to like, of course, read books and educate yourself, and also educate yourself on like the truth of you as the being. So it's like you can do both. All right. So begin to look at where you have created the viewpoint of solidity around money and what it feels like. When you feel it impacted on a body part, push it out from you and ask yourself, what is the underlying point of view that I am functioning from that I do not even see? So you might want to highlight that, and actually, like if any of you want to play with it, like play with the idea of what is the underlying point of view that I am functioning from that I do not even see. And allow yourself to have the answer. And then allow that the answer is just an interesting point of view after all. And what can I choose now? I choose, I am creativity, I am awareness, I am control, I am power, I am money. If you create I am not, if you create I can't, you will not be able to. Also, congratulate yourself on what you have created, and do it with great and glorious gusto. There is nothing wrong with what you have created, and there is nothing wrong with what you have created, except your own judgment of it. If you were a bag lady on the street, would that be a better creation or a worse creation than what you currently have?
Worse.
Interesting point of view.
Not if you didn't know.
That is right. Not if you didn't know. That is right. Not if you didn't know. Now you know that you have the choice. You can create. Now, what happens if your next door neighbor tells you that you are not getting paid this week because I am taking all of your money to pay for the fence that you have busted?
An interesting point of view.
Exactly. It is an interesting point of view. That is all it is. If you become resistance or reaction to it, you make it a solidity, and then your neighbor will take the money. So it's like with your antenna, it's like if you take what you're aware of and resist or react, you make it solid, and then you create your future based on what you've made solid rather than just being aware. It's like if your neighbor says, I need money for the fence you busted, but you don't have a point of view about it, it's like something will magically happen where you won't have to pay for it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like shooting at somebody who's not there. Like, you can't.
So how do you uncreate that if you've done that?
No.
Because I just did that today.
Did you really?
Oh, not with the fence, but with my boss.
Oh shit.
Yes. And I even tried turning them on.
For those of you on the stream,
That's on the internet now.
It is magic buttons.
I won't say who, it's just a random member of the audience. We talked about how to turn people's bodies on Saturday, and I think we've had some practice to no success.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh, crap. That's funny. I want to hear more about that later. Okay, so it's like there's so many possibilities in the universe, like infinite possibilities. So if you don't have a point of view about something, and you don't take your awareness about it and make it solid and then create the future based on what you've made solid, if you just let yourself be aware of it, you'll also be aware of all the infinite things you can do in order to change it.
Can you say that one more time?
Probably not.
I'll watch it on there.
But I'll try to. So it's like there's the universe is full of infinite possibilities, like infinite, beyond billions, beyond trillions of things that can show up for you. And what this book is teaching you to do, and what Access Consciousness is inviting you to, is that space where you actually tap into that by asking questions. So if you bust the fence up and or turn somebody on to no avail, you can't.
Say that.
Oh, okay, it worked. Okay, sorry. So if you bust the fence up and you have a point of view about it, and you're like, oh shit, I busted the fence, and you resist, like, oh, I have to pay for that fence, or oh no, I have to pay for that fence, or take on any point of view about the fence, you make your neighbor's point of view real. You have your psychic antenna, you take it in, you lock it in your body, and then you create your life based on it. So you have to, clean up the mess. But if you actually were just aware of that and let it be and asked a question like, okay, so what would change this? Or what else is possible? The universe will show you the infinite amount of ways that the situation can be changed. Like I've literally, there is the type of magic where suddenly the fence isn't busted, or, just things like stuff like that, happens. And there's also the place where, you get the extra $600. It shows up places. People have found extra money in their bank account. Like, I'm just giving some, but all kinds of different, like, roadways and tendrils of quantum entanglements and possibilities can show up if you don't go, oh, I'm aware of that, that's real, I'm going to create based on that. If you go, oh, I'm aware of that, what else is possible, then the universe can contribute to you. But the universe can't contribute to the places that you've made solid.
So how do you undo that?
Yeah. So how do we not bust the Fed?
Well, like, do you have a more specific question?
Just like if you busted the Fed, or you went into reaction to it, or
Yeah.
how do you undo the reaction now that you're aware that you did what you did?
Right. So, like ask, first of all, who does this belong to? And go into, okay, interesting point of view. I have this point of view about what I created. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view about what I created. Because what you've done is you've created this thing, and then to try to control it, and you've learned to go like this to it. So whereas before it could have been infinite, where there's tons of space between the molecules and in this, like, of the situation, and in the space possibilities could show up. But you're like, oh my God, I did something bad. So instead of being infinite, it becomes this small thing, this small field. So the universe can't contribute to it because it's so small. So by going interesting point of view, I have that point of view, you get out of the place where you're buying it as real and making it small, and you're making it less real, and you're making it infinite. One time in front of my boss, I said this stupid thing, like she made this joke about dancing, and then I like went on like this weird thing about like I did this like weird dance routine, and she like just looked at me like really, really weird, and I'm like, she's gonna hate me forever now. And then I said, okay, no. So I started doing interesting point of view, and then I made what I had done infinite, bigger than the universe. Like I just said, can this be infinite? And the next day, she promoted me, and it was like the whole thing had never happened, but it hadn't. Like, you can make people forget things by making them infinite. But if you make them small,
Okay.
then people remember them
Right.
because they're like this solid thing in their reality that they can see. But if you choose to make it infinite, then people can't see it anymore. Sounds a little bit like science fiction.
And it's supposed to be infinite, because I do that often. Like if I make a mistake, or again, like say something stupid, or there's something like, so I right away I'll make it infinite, and I'll remember that I did it, but then I can't for the life of me remember what it was, which is probably a good thing, so
Right.
I'll probably make it finite.
Because
again,
they
right?
can't remember what it was either.
Yeah, but I know I did. I'm like, well, what did I do yesterday that I made infinite? And I don't remember. That's actually good.
Oh dear. You
I'm
apply
not
the
sure.
tools so well. One day you'll realize that.
Sometimes. I'm still stuck though, but I do them all the time.
One day I'm gonna break into your house and I'm gonna put sticky notes all over the wall, be like, I'm way awesomer than I think I am. And I'm actually really brilliant, and I'm not fucked up. Yeah.
Send you a daily text.
Awesome. Okay, so we're talking about the fence. We're
The
going
neighbor
into-
will take the money.
The neighbor will take the money. Is that right? Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, so if you become resistance or reaction to it, you make it a solidity, and then your neighbor will take the money because you've made it real in this world. So,
So what you're telling us is that when somebody comes up with a negative,
or with any point of view about money, because positive and negative are two sides of the same coin. They have nothing to do with you as a being.
all right, that's an interesting point of view.
Yes, feel your energy when you do that.
Okay, and then go right to the I am.
Yes.
I got it. The light has dawned.
And when you feel impacted on your body, a particular point of view, and anxiety. Okay, so another thing is like he's saying, it being impacted on your body, because you have a point of view, and it actually like hurts your cells because you're buying it as real when it's not real. So you have to like take this energy and try to make it solid and like put it on your cells, and your cells are supposed to be like nice circles, but when the thought hits the cell, then your cells start to ellipticize and go like this. So then your body starts to get old and age. And that's why we get old, is because we buy points of view as real. And that's why you see some people who have been doing Access for a little while, they don't age. You can't tell how old these people are. So I've even seen people come to Access and even you just start being kind of ageless, because every time that you take a point of view, it hits the cell, then the cell goes like this, then your body starts to get older because your cells aren't working at optimum function anymore. Okay, I just want to say that. The light is dawn. Where were we? Okay, so when you feel impacted on your body, a particular point of view, an anxiety or a fear, what is that about?
That you have to take it out and push it away from you.
Right. So when you feel anxiety and fear in your stomach, are you talking about not being fed amply?
No.
Are you talking about not being nurtured? So what are you talking about? Body is what you are talking about. You feel money as a function of your body, as though it is a third-dimensional reality. Is money a third-dimensional reality? No. No. We actually try to make it a third-dimensional reality. You know how we say, like, money is energy? And it's like, ugh, roll my eyes, I don't even know what that means. But what we're saying is that it is just an energy. It's just a concept that's, like, as easy to hold on to as the air. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take something that's like air, and we're trying to make it solid. So it doesn't work. So is money a third dimensional reality? No, it is not. Yet you try to make it so. Look at your points of view about money. It is security, it is house, it is bills, it is food, it is shelter, it is clothes. Is that true?
Well, that's what you buy with it.
That's what you buy with it. But you do that by choice, do you not?
Oh, necessity.
That is what you are choosing in this 10 seconds. Necessity, huh? Interesting point of view. Do you choose your clothes that you wear by necessity?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do.
You don't choose them because they are pretty or because they make you look good?
Most of the time they are to keep me warm.
And what about in the summer when you wear a bikini?
Cool. And then I'm looking good. Uh-huh.
Right. So you make choices. Not a necessity, but what you wish to feel. Yes? Feel.
Yeah, but do you need...
But throw that word away. More words to throw away.
You have to have shoes, and you still have...
How come you have to have shoes? You can walk barefoot.
Maybe I can, but...
I was telling them about Simon Jardine, our friend who didn't wear shoes. So sure you can.
I need them. It's cold out there.
Need, huh?
Underwear and socks.
Need, huh?
You have to have.
Who said? How do you know you cannot talk to your body and ask it to make yourself warmer?
Then what about...
You, as a being, do not even need the body.
Well, that would be cool.
That is cool. Ha 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 ha. Yes.
Well, you have to have food. You wear shoes.
We do not wear anything. Gary wears shoes, but that is because he is a wimp. He will not walk in the snow without them. Ha 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 ha. He thinks it is cold.
It is, too.
Well, that is an interesting point of view. You should try Siberia if you want cold.
And your children, when they are hungry?
How many times have you had your children hungry?
A couple of times.
And how long did they go hungry?
For the night.
And what did you do?
Got money from my father.
You created, did you not?
Yes.
Did you congratulate yourself upon your creative ability?
Well, I thanked my father.
Well, that is one way to create. Creating, creativity, is being the awareness of self. Be, I am creativity. B, I am awareness. B, I am power. B, I am control. B, I am money. You are resisting. But, need, why, you must, it's a necessity, are all points of view of I can't have and I don't deserve. And I love the trick saying to tell somebody to breathe in air and then say, like, do you deserve the air that you just breathed? As, well, who clocks whether you deserve your air? But we do clock whether we deserve money, and we do clock whether we deserve love. But that's because we've made those things solid, but we haven't made air solid. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's about deserving. Yeah, these are the underlying places that you are functioning from. Those are the points of view that you are creating. Those are the points of view that you are creating your life. Is this where you wish to create from?
Well, I can see that in every aspect but money.
Yes, but money, because you see money as different. What do you see money as? The root of all evil?
Yeah.
And whose point of view is that? In truth, it is not your own. It is one you bought. The devil made me do it, hey? You see, it is a reality that you are creating it as different, as not part of your creativity.
So if you say to yourself all of the I ams, it's going to put money in my pocket?
It's going to start to come in your pocket. Every time you doubt, you chip away at the foundation that you are creating. Let us put it this way. How many times have you said, I want money?
Every day.
Every day, I want money. You are saying, I lack money. What have you created?
But it's true.
That's true? No, it's only an interesting point of view. You have created exactly what you have said. I want money. Now, you did it unconsciously, but you did create.
Well, how about if I wanted to hit the lottery?
If you lacked hitting the lottery, that is exactly what you would create. Lack of hitting the lottery.
The power of perception is what we're saying.
The power of your words, of your awareness, creates the reality of your world. You want a simple exercise? Say, I don't want money.
Can we choose something else instead?
Say, I don't want money.
I don't want money.
Say, I don't want money.
I don't want money.
Say, I don't want money.
I don't want money.
Say, I don't want money.
I don't want money. That sounds negative to me.
Really? I don't lack money is negative?
But we do want money.
You don't want money. That is right. I don't want money. Feel the energy of it. Feel how you feel as you say, I don't want money. It's like kind of this weight's lifted off your shoulders because you're not trying to maintain the that you have to have it. You kind of let it go. Hardy. Want means to lack, but you keep trying to hold on to the definition. I am money. You cannot be, I have money. You cannot have something you are not being. Okay, so you cannot have something you are not being. That's why we say you have to be willing to be all energies, because you can't have something that you're not willing to be. You are already being creativity as I want money. And so you have created an abundance of lack. Have you not?
Yeah.
Good. So can you say now, I don't want money?
I don't want money. I don't want money. I don't want money. I don't want money. I don't want money.
Wonderful. Now, feel your energy. You're lighter. So feel that?
Yes, I'm dizzy.
You're dizzy because what you have created is a breaking down of the structure of reality as you have created it. Okay, so let's stop there. So the structure of reality as you have created it. It's like this reality that you have made real. And like Joanne said, it's sort of like an entity. It's like this thing. that you have taken all of this awareness of what's possible and what is and made it real. So it makes you dizzy because you're breaking down everything that you thought is real. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get dizzy. And Naomi, if you're not dizzy, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you fail money class. So you're dizzy because what you've created is a breaking down of the structure of reality as you have created it. You all have it. Say it to yourselves and feel that you get lighter and more laughter in your life as you say, I don't want money.
Can you say I am rich?
No! What is rich?
Happiness.
It's funny because it's true. So
The first time, yeah. Yeah, that's me.
was that Rita?
Because I remember going through this.
The first time? Yeah. Okay. So really, you think Donald Trump is happy?
No, not money rich. Oh, like money controls what we have to do.
That's an interesting point of view. Where did you get that one?
Because
Where did you get that point of view?
I got the idea from thinking the...
See, it's that thinking thing. You get in trouble. Did it feel good?
No.
Thank you. No, it doesn't feel good. It is not true. If you say, I am rich, does it feel good?
It would feel good.
Interesting point of view. It would feel good. How do you know, how do you know? Have you been rich?
Well, I had money when I...
Have you been rich?
No.
No. Can you be rich?
Yes.
Really? How can you be rich when you can only say, if I was? You see, you are looking at the future as an expectation of what it should be, not what it is. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Another thing. So there's a difference between two things. There's creating in the future or creating for the future. So if you're creating in the future, it's saying things like, if I was rich, or if I won $1 million, or when I finally quit my job and live my dream, or if, I found the man of my dreams, or if. So those are creating in the future. They're like these little bubbles of fantasies of the things that will happen in the future, maybe, if. So that's one side. And then there's creating for the future, which is setting things up today so that when you get to the future, there's something great there. So one is kind of fantasizing, and one is not necessarily literally setting things up, but asking questions like, who could I talk to today that would create the future I'm looking to create? Where would I have to go today to create the future I'm looking to create? Because you'll go to the movie theater and then you'll see somebody and then you'll have lunch with them. And then when you're having lunch with them, you'll realize that their financial advisor, is the person who you've been looking for, who has a certain amount of investment information. And that person, you go and you meet with that financial advisor and you learn information about things. And then offhandedly, he talks about, his vacation property. And you're like, oh, I've been looking for a vacation property in Hawaii. Could I rent your place? And on and on and on. So then you create that future by going to the movie theater. So every single choice that you make creates a different future. So what you have to do is ask which choice is lighter and which choice is heavier and which is going to create the future I would like to have the most. Okay. So it's saying, so the person here is saying, if I was rich, and it's saying, you see that you are looking to the future as an expectation of what it should be. So we have these ideas of the way things should be, but they're not really sustainable. Or we're not willing to do what it takes or ask the questions to actually get us there. We have all decided that if we believe hard enough, it will come to fruition. rather than doing the work or asking the questions that will take us to the future that we would like to have. It's almost like catapulting yourself into these other realities rather than actually being here. I talked about this yesterday on the Salon de Femmes call. Yeah. All right, we're at 6:35. Let's just finish this page. Okay, so how can you be rich when you can say only, if I was? You see, you are looking at the future and an expectation of it and what it should be, not what it is.
It's like you have a boss that's going to pay you, and you have to do what he says, and you have to.
Do you have a boss that is paying you?
Not at the moment, but
That is not true. You have a boss that is paying you, and she's not paying you very well because she is not taking any money for what she can do. You are it, honey. You are your boss. Create your business, create your life, and allow it to come to you. You are sticking yourself in the closet and saying, I can't, I can't, I can't. Who is creating that point of view? What happens if you say, I can and I understand, instead of I can't and I don't understand? What happens to your energy? Feel your energy.
I'm just stuck in the point of view where the kids can't eat without money.
Who said you would be without money? You did. You assumed you would have no money unless you did something you hate. How often do you look at work as fun?
Never.
That is the point of view. That is the underlying point of view. And yet you say, my work is working with the crystal ball. So you never see yourself as having fun. Do you love what you do?
Yeah.
So how come if you do what you love, you cannot allow yourself to receive?
I don't know enough yet. I need more information.
You do not need more information. You have at your disposal 10,000 lifetimes of being a crystal ball reader. Now, what have you got to say about learning besides, oh shit? All right, we'll stop there. And so we're on page 55. Do you think we can get through the rest? Well, okay, so let's read page 56 to, read page 56 to 65, and we'll start on chapter 5, page 66 next week. Page 66 is chapter 5, so just finish page 65. Okay? Until next week, everybody. Oh, wait, and this is my sister, just in case, so you know who the voice was. Look at her. Awesome. Okay, bye, everybody.